Would you take the knee?
No.
Do you have any sources?
Yeah, the people that have died. That's a pretty good source.
You're representing Sky. You're representing the Murdoch organisation.
No, I wasn't representing them at all.
Do you miss the good old days of a cokey old terrorist and a fight?
It's a lot softer than it used to be. And I'm not sure it's made for a better spectacle.
But why will be told to wear masks?
To see how compliant we were. It's building towards a digital prison. I don't feel like I need to wear a badge to show support for people.
So unless you're a man or a woman, there's a mental illness?
I think there's two genders, yeah.
How big is your cock?
Very average.
Will Jamie Carragher go to hell? Tasty little thumbnails out of this. So, Matt Tissier, Southampton's second all-time goal scorer. Scorer of wonderful goals, 47 and 48 pens, a loyal man, a fan favourite, and now retired and going about his business, stirring up the establishment, shall we say.
Tried.
I got to step in here. I'm an American guy. I don't have a fucking clue about football. I was an American football guy, almost went pro, but I had ADHD and small hands. My ADHD was undiagnosed at the time. But my questions won't be as detailed as Ray.
No
but I do
problem.
have some interest in what you do as a footballer. I understand you took a lot of penalties. You only missed one ever.
Yes.
That's incredible. What was it like when were you ever distracted when you were about to take a penalty and somebody in the audience went, whoa?
No.
Because that would throw me off because that would make you miss. And the pressure.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Didn't get under your skin?
No.
One of the most creative slogans, chants that you've ever heard.
Towards the back end of my career, when I'd kind of put on a little bit of weight, the "you fat bastard" chants came out quite often.
It's very hurtful. It's very hurtful.
But, these people don't realise I've got feelings. And it's.
Did it hurt?
No. I don't really care.
That's the thing. I mean, you could then do a worldie, and that sort of generally silences people.
We got a free kick on the edge of the box. And as I'm lining the free kick up, the crowd behind the goal are doing the usual, big nose, he's got a fucking big nose.
Right.
And so I stepped up to the free kick and smashed it in the top corner, and all of a sudden the singing stopped.
It will do that. It will do that. Would have been tough being a black player in that time. Millwall fans and all that.
I wouldn't know.
No.
Anyway, how come footballers never sing the national anthem? They always mumble it. Did you sing it?
That's a good question, actually. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, why don't they listen to the thing once and then they'll know?
Yeah, I think some are a little self-conscious, maybe not got the best voices.
Can you demonstrate it?
No, because I've got a really bad singing voice.
Fine.
Probably quite nasal. I mean, would you sing it now if you were playing for England? If they brought you back in, would your anti sort of establishment stance get in the way of that?
Yeah, I wouldn't sing it now.
You sing something
My
else
eyes
about...
have been opened.
Oh, right, so you'd make a sort of protest song about how we're all controlled?
I wouldn't make a protest song. I'd stand there in silence.
Right.
It'd be a silent protest.
Would you take the knee?
No.
What about if you were tying your boots up?
Oh, but I might make an exception for that. Otherwise, it could be quite strenuous on your back.
So you would, in a way.
It helps,
You would, in a way.
For my own benefit, yeah.
Rather than a minority group, you do that for yourself, but no one else?
No, I only take the knee for one person.
Who's that, your wife?
No.
For yourself?
No.
Which could be a while.
I think I know this, Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
Oh, of course, we'll get to that. Obviously, we told people you were coming on the pod. A lot of left-wing types said, oh my God, he's gone mad, he's gone down a rabbit hole. Why is there this preconception of you going mad?
Why is it? I don't know. I think common sense has left the planet. Yeah. Certainly on the left-hand side of politics.
Right, and that's what you...
I actually consider myself quite centrist.
Like Gary Lineker.
He's a left-leaning guy, like me. Big fan of Gary. Gary's outspoken, but he doesn't seem to ruffle feathers. Why is that?
I can't imagine why.
Please illuminate us.
Gary tends to go along with the mainstream narrative and gets away with it.
He likes to keep his paymasters happy.
Exactly.
Big potato.
Exactly.
Oh, crisps.
He sells Walker's crisps. He still do that?
I I haven't seen him on an advert in recent years, so maybe Walkers
Salt
have
and
come to
Lineker.
Yeah, maybe
Right.
some.
Would you say,
maybe they've
is
come to their
Lineker
senses.
a valuable left-wing voice, illuminating injustice, or is he a sort of centrist, eat your cake and have it and all that bollocks slag? Which one, if you had to choose?
Between those two, probably the second one.
Right, centrist cunt.
That's that cleared up.
Thank you, Matt. Can we just get you to say that Lineker is a centrist cunt?
I can't say that because he's not really centrist, is he?
Just a cunt.
Yeah.
You're one of the best players ever to have never won a trophy like Clive Allen and Ken Moncal and Benito Carbone. Was that loyalty or just laziness on your part? Didn't want to have to look for a new gaff, a new tanning salon for the missus.
Yeah, it's. I think it's all about contentment in life, and I was happy where I was. I was content, and I didn't feel like I needed to upset the apple cart.
That's very rare, wouldn't you say, in your game, for someone to seek contentment over material gain?
Fairly rare, but I've never entered football because of the money. That was never the main objective for me. I always saw football as an entertainment industry, and I wanted to show people how good I was at football.
It does unify. In World War One, in the trenches, they stopped the war to have a game of football. You hear about
on
that?
Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day. And it makes you think, like, why don't they airdrop some footballs to the fucking Ukraine or
Good idea.
get the war in Gaza sponsored by Puma or something like that?
Something nice.
What do you reckon?
Great ideas.
Well, apparently Joey Barton's great-granddad played in that no man's land game and did a horrible tackle on a German, a leg breaker. So they had to end the match.
Really?
So there is that. That's very nice that you stayed, and I'm sure you've been asked about this a lot. You were a very entertaining player. The way you scored goals was actually sort of fun. It was comical. There was an element of trying to make it fun. What has happened to the game now where you don't see the sort of mercurial in and out, slightly overweight, larger nosed gentleman sort of dibbling and dabbling about, occasionally doing a worldie? Where has that gone from the game?
I think probably because in recent years the game has become more about the managers and the tactics than about the actual players themselves.
Right.
I think the managers have wanted to make it more about them. The actual creative talents seem to get less of the ball in this day and age. If you look at all the players that have the most touches in a football match, most of the time you'll see it's centre-backs.
Right.
Nobody goes to football, watch centre-backs.
No.
Seriously. I mean, they're boring.
Absolutely. Sideways this, back to the keeper, sideways
What's a
again.
centre-back?
Do you miss the good old days of a cokey old terrorist and a fight, Cantona drop kicking a fan, fashioning attempted murder on Gary Mabbott?
I think some things are better for having moved on. I don't think players attacking fans in the crowd is necessarily a good look for the sport.
No, absolutely. Have we lost something in the game now because it's all been a bit wokeified?
I do feel like actually watching football these days, it's a lot softer than it used to be. And I'm not sure it's made for a better spectacle.
And over in, Colombia, if you don't score 15 goals a game, you're getting taken into the car park, you're getting publicly executed. Adds a lot more jeopardy to the game, I think.
I mean, that would add jeopardy. And I'm probably a little bit pleased that wasn't the case in England.
Yeah, but maybe we score more.
I'm not sure ethically it's a great thing to do.
Ethics, come on. Who gives a fuck? It's about the beautiful game, right?
It is, yeah, and I'm not sure executing people for not scoring is
It's the
particularly
passion.
beautiful.
They got a lot of passion for what's going on.
I think you could have passion without actually having a death threat.
Now, obviously, you grew up at a time when players didn't get paid as much. And what was the most you got paid per week at the height of your career?
My highest weekly wage at Southampton was £3,950 a week.
Very
Absolute
nice.
disgrace. Cash?
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. I had to pay tax on that.
You had to pay tax. Unbelievable.
Just something I'm going to have to do on this one.
Well, cash, you'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Now, obviously, with the wages being so low, obviously Julian Dix and Ray's, a couple of mates of mine, they were making 1.5.
That's
So a
not
lot
low.
less.
That's not low.
1.5 a week. No, I'm barely cover your brasses and gambling with all that lot. But is that the reason why I think there was more match fixing back in the day? Because I know that there was some speculation about Grobbelaar Obviously, he played with you at one point, so he was
Yeah.
letting in goals. You were scoring them at the other end.
Yeah.
God knows how well he would have done if he hadn't been doing that. Do you think Grobbelaar, Sago's, Fashanu, there was sort of heat on them, weren't there?
There was heat on them, yeah.
Was that
Well,
because of the pay? You think being too low, they felt like they had to go out there and talk to these dodgy sheikhs and that sort of thing?
I guess you'd have to ask them the reasons why they did it.
Do you believe that Grobbelaar took money to let in goals?
I'd hope not.
What's your hunch?
It's very difficult to prove conclusively that they definitely let it in.
Right, Hans Sagers. I mean, he basically lay down to let in the Everton goal last game of the season.
Yeah, that was a
He
dodgy
had a
goal.
little lie down. Do you think Sagers took some payments?
I actually scored a goal against Hans Seegers where I felt like he should have saved it.
Right. Okay, so you think that might have been...
Who knows?
Paid off by
He's
the
the only one
local.
that can tell you whether or not he let that in on purpose or not.
Right, and obviously Fashanu was paid by Cartel to try and kill Gary Mabbott. How do you feel about
I
that?
didn't know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that true?
If you were Gary Mabbott, could you find it in yourself to forgive him?
Yeah.
All right.
That's nice.
I don't know any of these names, so my questions are just a bit more general. But
Sure.
the showering situation after a game, I wouldn't feel comfortable myself showering and seeing another team member's member. How was that for you? Was that a thing?
Was that a thing?
I guess my question is,
Not really.
the people with a larger cock, are they better on the field because they got that, they got something to brag about? Or alternatively, what about someone who's, got a smaller one, maybe they're powered and inspired by that bitterness?
I didn't really notice a correlation between the ability of the player and the size of his penis.
You
if I'm
didn't?
honest. I didn't
Was there
really
anybody
notice
on
that.
your team with a large cock that you observed also matching that ability on the field?
I'm guessing there were some players that were good that did have
A name would be good for the numbers.
large ones.
Jim Magilton?
Do you know what? I can't really think back and picture Jim's penis.
Okay.
Neil Madison?
Okay.
Yeah, Neil was good player.
Good player. Packing a good piece.
He wasn't shy in that department.
Good tackle.
he had a good tackle.
We got an exclusive. Was there anyone on the team that had a smaller penis?
Ian Dowie?
This is testing my memory here. This
Jimmy
is 30
Case.
years ago.
Jimmy Case. He looked like a man with a good sized piece.
Jimmy could look after himself.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy liked a good tackle.
Certainly did.
Right.
That's a good tackle.
And not to get too gratuitous, just a ballpark figure. How big is your cock? Just so we know how it correlates.
Oh, very average.
Average. So
Very average.
That's interesting. So is it average?
About 7.5
Simply average,
inches.
but performed above and beyond on
Very
the pitch.
average, yeah,
So maybe
absolutely.
the science doesn't fit for that theory.
Absolutely not.
But that's what we do here. We're skeptics. We're going to ask.
Forgot to give you some gifts, Matt.
Oh, have you? That's very kind.
We've got some drinks in the colours of Southampton's kit.
Oh,
there.
lovely. Yeah. Red and white. Nice. Almost
got-
white.
Pack of quavers because they're the shape of question marks. Because you're a man who likes to question a lot of things.
Beautiful.
And some bin bags because you were binned off by Sky.
Thank you very much.
There you go,
That'll come
so-
in handy.
So let's get into that, shall we? You were sacked by Sky for your opinions. You refused to take the knee, except for doing up your laces. You refused to wear rainbow laces, is that right? On the set of Sky?
I didn't know that.
we weren't asked to wear rainbow laces on
But
the
would
set,
you
Sky, no.
wear an LGBTQ plus badge or something like that to show support?
I don't feel like I need to wear a badge to
Right.
show support for people.
Well, what about leather chaps or something like that? I'm queer. It might help me.
I don't think
It
leather
helps me.
chaps would look good in my shape.
Yeah, but it's a gesture. It's about feeling seen. You lost your job for outspoken views, right? Now,
Apparently.
I got a theory about this. I think you did it on a large platform. So that's kind of a bit like Jamie Theakston on Radio Hard saying the Jews didn't do 9/11. It's about context and a time and a place.
What were you asking for?
You're representing Sky. You're representing the Murdoch organization. They're
No.
very good people.
No.
You're
I
not?
wasn't representing them at all. My Twitter feed was made very clear that the views on there were my own and not that of my employers.
All right.
But it's interesting that you got canned and Lineker kept on. What's that about? How come that happened? What's the difference?
Gary agreed with the mainstream narrative, and I didn't.
Which one did he agree with?
All of them.
Big news from Bad Boys Done Good.
That's right. Bad Boys Done Good is now live on Patreon.
That's right, live.
Sign up today. The website is below, and you're gonna get
Exclusive content, outtakes.
bloopers
A live show with Paul Sinner delivered right to your door now.
straight away, instantly.
You'll get all episodes coming up a day before everyone else.
Right. Not to mention early bird tickets for forthcoming live shows.
That's right. Plus, first refusal on exclusive merch drops.
You're gonna love this shit. Put your cock down and sign up today.
Thanks for your support.
We appreciate you.
So-
What was it that got you in trouble? Was it something about you weren't into the COVID stuff, right?
I questioned the government's reaction to it, yes.
In what sense did you question it? The wearing of masks. You weren't into that.
No.
But wasn't it wearing a mask just like to let people know that something's happening? To be kind.
No.
It wasn't.
No.
Because when you see someone with a mask, you're like, oh, something's going on here. We better
But what?
keep our
And
distance.
the 24/7 propaganda on the news channels wasn't enough?
Whatever's
People
to
had
warn
to
us.
wear masks to tell you that there's...
I respected the COVID legislation. I did my collections with a mask, and I only assaulted people from a safe distance. I used weaponry that was
6 feet apart?
right. I had a very long pipe, for example, so it didn't bother me. I just got on with business.
That's very respectful of you. Well done.
Well, thank you, but you would disagree with that.
What was the masks about? If it weren't for protecting people, why were we told to wear masks?
Why were we told to wear masks? To see how compliant we were.
Right.
To see how much they could get away with. See how far they could push us before we kick back.
And what do you think they were planning after that?
What do I think they were planning? I think the original plan was probably to have mandatory vaccines
Right.
to get everybody injected.
But wouldn't they help, the vaccines?
Do you want to go and speak to some of the people who have died after them?
Well, not
The
everybody.
family of the people that have
Dead,
died
no.
after them to speak to their families to see if
Okay,
they
so
really helped?
It didn't help everybody, but it helped a lot of people.
Prove it.
Do you have any sources?
No proof.
Do you
You've
have
got no
sources?
proof that it helped anybody. There is no proof. All you've got is computer models.
So you don't have any sources for it not working?
Yeah, the people that have died. That's a pretty good source.
Okay. But what about the people that didn't die?
Prove that it was the vaccine
I
that
could
saved
prove
them.
that they're alive.
Prove that it was the vaccine that saved them.
Prove it's the vaccine that killed them. Have you had it?
Have I had it?
COVID?
No.
You never had it.
No?
I had it. It felt very chemically. It did feel like it was designed, like a bioweapon. But you can't say that. You get in trouble.
Was that what it was? Was it a bioweapon?
Was it a bio? I'm open-minded on what it actually was, whether it was a bioweapon, whether it was the fact that in 2020 there were like nearly 0 cases of the flu.
So there were no flus for 2020, 21, loads of COVID. We had to wear masks to test our compliance. What were they? They were trying to mandate vaccines. Why did they want to mandate vaccines?
I think it's building towards a digital prison, I think,
Digital prison. What's that?
where everything you do is tracked. All your money is tracked. Everything you spend your money on is tracked.
That's
You're
all
not
we
allowed
have.
to go outside your 15-minute city.
Right.
That would be a nightmare for my business if everything was tracked online.
Well, obviously, you asked for your fee today to be in cash because you like to be off grid, so that's all sorted. Don't worry, Matthew, you've got that.
I understand you thought that some of the Ukraine footage showed actors. Is that right?
The point that I was trying to make when I made that point about the Ukraine war is that both sides in a war would engage in propaganda,
Of course.
and
That's just a fact.
I thought it was a fact, but apparently, me actually saying that out loud meant that I was again a far right conspiracy theorist.
It's just theories. Like there's a theory going around now that Nish Kumar might be Alan Davis browning up. Have you heard that one? That's from some reputable sources, and I'd be shocked to hear that. I'm a huge fan. I got a question though. A lot of conspiracy theories, they have a lot of they're always adjacent to anti-Semitism. Now, luckily for me, I know the difference between real Jews and fake Jews. But why do you think so many conspiracy theories tie into that?
I think one of the worst things we do in this world is lumping everyone together and going, oh, this group of people are all bad, or this group. I don't believe there is one group of people that are all bad. In any race or religion, you've got good people and you've got bad people.
And that's a controversial stance now, because you got to be actively anti-racist. You can't just be not racist.
You've got to be selectively anti-racist. You can't just be anti-racist. You've got to be anti-racist against these people.
Right.
But don't worry about them for now. We'll get to them in a bit.
Yeah. You're allowed to be racist against white people, apparently.
Yeah,
that's
well,
all right. That's allowed.
I think
mean,
they had it coming.
You're from Guernsey, so you've got minority blood.
Exactly.
As a foreign man, do you feel persecuted?
Oh, every day.
Is that true? You were sacked by Sky because they thought you were Jewish based on your nose?
You'd have to ask them that. That's a new one on me.
I like that you're a businessman. You're an affiliate of a CBD company, right?
I am.
That's good. I like that. If you're interested, I got a connection. Very effective Jamaican psychosis cheese skunk strain.
You ever smoked a fat one?
No.
Even back in the day?
Nope.
Letting your hair down at Silhouettes in Southampton or Barbarella's?
Silhouettes.
A few cheeky
You
lines.
did do your research, didn't
I used
you?
to go there.
Did you?
On away days. Night before.
Brilliant.
Stay away. Have a bit of fun. Local minty. Very nice. You ever go down there? Club openings and all that?
I think I went to the Silhouette Club once. I think maybe twice. Yeah, it wasn't my thing. Jumping jacks was my thing.
For the birds. I know you liked your leggy blondes.
Not really. Leggy blondes was not really my.
Short-legged redheads.
Short-legged anything.
Ever stroking any screamers with some local lovelies?
There's beauty in everyone.
There absolutely
It
is.
sounds nice, but it ain't true, is it, Matthew?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I mean, I'm sure Ian Dowie hopes that's the case, but let's have a look at him, shall we? Fucking hell. So you were a loyal man off the pitch and on the pitch? So you were faithful to your wife?
Not my first wife, no.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
Well, I happened to leave my first wife for my second wife.
Right. So there was some overlap.
There was a little bit of overlap, yeah.
Right.
Something that I regret deeply.
Did you pay for the BBC license?
No,
So how
How do you watch Mrs. Brown's Boys?
I don't. I watch sport and quiz programs. I like a good quiz program.
Oh, you like a quiz?
Yeah.
You like a quiz, don't you?
I love a quiz. We got some quiz
Schofield.
questions coming up.
Oh, beautiful.
So,
I've been on a few of them.
oh yeah, we had ITV's Paul Sinner as a guest.
Oh, did you?
He was wonderful.
Great
Love the
guy.
chase.
Anyway,
You like the thrill of the chase?
Oh, of course. Who doesn't?
Right. You like being courted by Chelsea and Tottenham and that? Get you giggling? Get you purring?
It was a good massage of the ego, wasn't it?
Lovely. Turning down the big boys. Lovely.
I heard someone that said that you never voted.
No.
Now, what would it take to make you excited about a politician?
It would take for me a politician who was willing to change the system that we've got at the minute.
So they need to eradicate Parliament.
I think we need a system of direct democracy,
What is that?
which is like they have in Switzerland, where they have 3 monthly referendums on major points in the country.
Oh, I've never seen a referendum go bad in this country.
So they need to do a 3-month referendum, remove Parliament entirely, and then you'd be interested.
I think the country would probably be better off and run better if there wasn't any MPs.
But what about Jeremy Corbyn?
What about him?
Do you think he was shut down by the system because he got too close to the truth?
Possibly.
Would you break bread with Jeremy Corbyn? If he knocked on your door, would you invite him in?
I'd quite happily have a chat with him.
What about Lineker?
I'd have a chat with Gary.
But you wouldn't let him in.
No.
He wouldn't come in, but he
He
can
can stand
talk
on
to
the doorstep and talk to me.
you. Say your piece, Lineker, and get the fuck out of here. Fair enough. So
What about Jamie Carragher, if he came knocking?
If he wanted to come and knock and apologise to me, I'd be happy to accept that apology.
Right. 'Cause
He's
the
gonna
last time he
apologise.
spoke, he was screaming on the phone to you, wasn't he?
Exactly.
I don't know what happened there. What was that?
Well, Carragher spat, kept his job at Sky. Lettice asked a question about fucking COVID vaccines. He lost his job. Matt,
I didn't lose my job about COVID vaccines. I lost my job before the vaccines came out.
right.
Fuck.
He was
Let's
ahead of his
get the
time.
timelines right.
He was bringing up COVID vaccines before COVID even happened. This guy is ahead of his time. Carragher spit on a fucking football fan, kept his
Spit.
job.
But isn't that what they do in football? They spit
Spat
everywhere.
out of his car
Spat out
on
of
a
the car.
bird in another car.
So spitting on a pitch, okay. Spitting out a car, no good.
No,
You're a very spiritual guy. You converted to Christianity a year ago.
that's right.
Or more than a year. When was it?
Just over a year ago, yeah.
And what prompted that change?
I think the biggest prompt to that change was realising that there is a spiritual war going on in this world at the moment of good versus evil. That was the biggest.
And do you
factor.
believe in the scriptures, Jesus, the Lord? You do believe in Jesus?
I believe that Jesus walked this earth, yes.
Yeah. And
So-
do you have the evidence for that?
I mean, there's some pretty compelling evidence in the Bible.
The Bible. Yeah. But you're skeptical about other things, but you're certain about this.
No, I didn't say I was certain.
Not certain.
I have a faith,
You're just hedging your bets because you might die and see Vishnu.
so be it.
Okay.
How do you
Jesus.
think God would feel about your nickname, Le God? Would there be rivalry there?
I think you'd probably understand that was pretty tongue-in-cheek.
Right. Okay, so God's got a sense of humour, of course.
I would think so.
Right.
Well, of course, he wouldn't have given me this nose if he didn't.
Very nice.
I think it's a beautiful nose.
I
Thank
think
you
it's
very
a fine
much.
nose, and you're a geezer, so it don't matter. If you were a bird, that would be an absolute fucking horror show. But you're a geezer, you're a talented geezer, you're a wealthy geezer.
You're fine. Who do you think is in hell? Do you think people go there?
Will Jamie Carragher go to hell?
Don't know. It depends what his soul's like. I don't know his soul.
What do you think his soul's like? What does it seem like to you?
From my experience of the last phone call with him, his soul wasn't that great.
Hellbound.
Hopefully he can change.
Now, I know that there was a nonce in the Southampton Youth Academy, Bob Higgins. Is he in hell?
Well, he's in prison at the minute.
Is he?
Prison first, hell after. For nonsense.
Do you have a message for Bob?
No.
Doesn't have a message.
Do you want to look down the camera and say anything to him? We'll get this message to him in the can.
I have nothing to say to him.
Dirty little noncy cunt, something like that.
Fucking nuts. You're a fucking disgrace.
So
Let's hope
you
so.
became a Christian because you started to see the battle between good and evil. Are we in the end times, Matt?
I don't know if those end times are very close. If it is, so be it. Sarah, sarah.
Do you think that the system, as you mentioned, we're heading towards a digital prison, everything is online, society has become pornified. Do you think there's any way back? Do you think society is sick, is what I'm saying?
I think parts of society is sick, but there are some very good parts to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people might think something is sick, but other people might enjoy it. Like, I don't know how you feel about OnlyFans and sex work. You into that?
Not really, no.
Because I was lucky enough to visit the Lily Phillips. Right, you heard about this.
I did hear about that, yeah.
She did a gangbang for 100 guys. I was lucky enough to be present.
Were you one of them?
I was number 79.
Wow.
And she got a lot of flack at the press. There was a documentary made about her doing this, but for a neurospicy, sex positive guy like me, I had a great time. It was very smelly, but I got speaking to a lot of people. The problem was she wanted me to film while in the act, and one of my ADHD symptoms is I actually lack. I can't multitask. So unfortunately, I had a flaccid penis, but the camera work was like fucking Spielberg. But I guess what I'm saying is people might look down upon that kind of sex work, but I met a lot of people. I networked with. I was speaking to one guy. He was at the other end. I couldn't see his face. He had a balaclava on, but it turns out he was a Labour politician for Wood Green. Basically, she's doing another one. I think it's 1,000 guys.
I don't think was there a question there, or was that sort of an
I think it was
anecdote?
just boasting, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was.
It was a
boasting.
great
I think it was
story,
just
and
boasting.
But I guess what I'm saying is, like, some people might see that as a symptom of a sick society, but I got a lot out of the experience in a way. Do you think that's an example of the end times, or do you think it's progressive.
I don't think it could be viewed as one or the other of those two.
So you're keeping an open mind about that. All right.
That's not. He's very different to what I was led to believe from the haters on the left. Some what people say he's mad. He's actually very level-headed.
He's very calm.
He doesn't he's not very reactionary. He's not emotional. He listens to the questions. He gives a very calm response. He's not not like Joey Barton. You imagine he probably tried to nut one of us by now for some of the shit we've been saying.
But one thing I will say is you keep an open mind. You like to see both sides, but there are things you reject. Like you're not into people identifying as things in school, right?
No, I don't think people should be identifying as animals.
Animals. I don't want nobody in my crew identifying as a rat. Anything else, I don't really care.
Okay.
So what's your problem with people identifying as animals in their school or their work? What's the problem with that, Matt? If Peter Beardsley wants to come in and say he's an owl, what's wrong? As long as he does the business on the pitch, is there a problem?
I think there is a problem. Yeah.
But what is it? Isn't it just kind of experimenting with
Self-expression.
Right.
Development of the ego.
Doesn't harm anybody to be a fucking cat, right? Who's it harming?
What's the bottom line here? Why don't you like it?
It's not that I don't like it. I just think that there's a mental illness attached to that.
So unless you're a man or a woman, there's a mental illness?
I think there's two genders, yeah.
Non-binary?
What is non-binary?
Someone who don't feel that they're either? Don't feel comfortable saying that they're either?
Well, maybe take a look inside your pants. You'll find out which one you are.
So it's all about physiology?
It's pretty clear to me, yeah. You're either a man or a woman.
Some people chop it off.
Although, there are, granted, hermaphrodites.
Right, it does happen. What are they?
They've got a bit of both, haven't they?
Well, if they're a hermaphrodite and they identify as a cat, is that all right?
I mean, I'd be a little bit fearful of their mental state of mind.
Right, so you try and talk to them or maybe refer to them to local services. That
Possibly.
probably wouldn't end well, because it seems to be if you suggest
Be a
mental
counsellor.
illness, they see you as hateful,
Really?
problematic,
It's
conservative.
funny because I see that as being concerned for them and for their health.
Do you care about them? So a hermaphrodite identifying as a cat is fine. Everything else, mentally ill.
Hermaphrodite can identify either, surely, because you've got both. Or
So a
she-
hermaphrodite could identify as a man or a woman, but not a cat. And nobody can identify as a cat.
Why would you want to identify as an animal
Personal
when you're
reasons.
not? When you're a human being.
What about a geezer who fucks cats because he knows if he don't, he'll fuck kids? Is that all right?
It's an interesting
He
question.
fucks cats to stop himself fucking kids.
This is the problem with this world today, because it's not just like this is your option, this is your option. Choose between them two, and that's the whole premise of what's gone on the last few years. Is this whole divide and conquer thing where you just give people two options and go, right, you're either left or you're right.
All right.
You're left or you're mad. That's how they play it.
Speaking of which, I want you to choose one or the other from these questions.
Oh, is this the quiz game?
Yeah. Red pill or blue pill?
It's got to be red pill, surely.
Black pill, white pill.
White pill.
Football or sex with your current wife?
It's got to be sex with my current wife, surely.
A cuddle with your daughter or that 40-yard bender against Blackburn?
A cuddle with my daughter.
Wow. GB News or fake news?
GB News. Much of a choice there, is there? It's not much of a choice.
GB News or BBC News?
GB News.
BBC News or devil worship?
Neither.
Taking a bribe or drop kicking a Bournemouth fan?
Taking a bribe.
Good pundit, yes or no? Roy Keane,
Yeah.
Mika Richards,
No.
Alan Shearer,
No.
Gary Neville,
All right, yeah.
female pundit Alex Scott.
No.
Interesting. Jamie Carragher.
No.
Pill or suppository?
Suppository. Yeah.
Okay, good. We got to get our numbers up. People like the clickbait. You know this business.
I mean, I don't want this to end, Matt. You're an absolute god. I mean, I'm a West Ham fan, as you know, but I admire you as a man, as a player.
Before we go, this is, I don't know if you're aware, this is a mental health podcast. How is your mental health?
Absolutely magnificent.
That's wonderful.
Is it
Been
better for being here?
Oh, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed this last hour with you two.
Have you enjoyed it?
It's been fun.
I really appreciate
Would you
it.
do it again if we invited you back?
If you paid me double.
Double. Wow. £100. We ain't paying £100 for no one.